Welcome back, YouTube. So this is going to be part 3 of the shop tour. I'm just messing with you. There is no part 3 of the shop tour. The shop's nowhere near big enough for a part 3. It's barely big enough for a part 2. So we were supposed to be working on the Nissan Frontier today, but the parts didn't arrive. So hopefully the parts will arrive midweek next week. So instead we've got something else that's going to be super exciting for some of you and kind of boring for somebody else, but hopefully you enjoy the content. All right, so today we are going to see if we can't get some of this spray paint stripped off of this ATV. We went up to just a generic hardware store we have around here, picked up just whatever they had on the shelf that didn't seem too corrosive for plastics. All of these say not safe for plastic. None of them actually do say safe for plastic, so it's going to be some trial and error, and we'll see which ones do the least damage. And then just 2 other products that I had laying around in the shop from other things. And then one of the 2 that I had laying around was brake fluid. I've seen a bunch of forums, a bunch of threads that say brake fluid does really good at getting this off. I can't say I've ever had any luck at getting brake fluid to remove paint off of surfaces, but if the commercial products that I picked up don't work, we'll give it a try. And worst case, it doesn't work also. No harm, no foul. So I'm gonna go get set up and we'll come back and see if any of these paint strippers can actually remove the paint off the ATV without ruining the plastic. All right, so for this little setup, just to see if this even works, we just have the sawhorses, some of the random wood that was laying around in here. So one of the first ones we're gonna be giving a try here is citrus strip. Obviously, again, none of these say that they're safe for plastics, so we're gambling with every one of these that we do. But I don't know, we're in Florida, it's citrus flavored, scented. We'll see what happens. All right, and we're back. So as you can see, it is nice and bubbly. And if we do just a little bit of scraping in some of the areas, the paint is coming right off. So for a small sample size test, I'm happy. Citrus strip seemed to have done the job. So we're gonna go ahead and change setups. I'm gonna set up a big 8.5 or 8 foot sheet of plywood, get all the parts up here, get them all sprayed, and we'll see if we can get all this paint off these things today. All right, and we're back. We are using one of the bigger pieces of wood around here and have almost all of the parts on the table. Obviously, there's still the huge main body parts for the ATV that are still on the ATV. But aside from that, we have the carrying trays, the gas tank, the fairings, and then the front clip. Front clip is originally supposed to be black, but it was spray painted black. So we're gonna try and get the spray paint off of that. Other than that, we have everything ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and get the time lapse set up and recording, and then get to spraying and see how all this goes. So first round down on the bars here, we did end up having to switch over to this clean strip premium stripper. I will note that this stuff is very much not plastic safe. I didn't even attempt to spray this anywhere near the plastics. You can kind of just smell how corrosive this is. But it worked really well on the bar so far. We got down to raw metal in some spots, and then just still the original black powder coat and the orange spray paint on some of the other parts. All in all, this stuff's working really well on getting these taken care of. We are going to also see if we can't scrape off some of these plastics now and see how the citrus strip did. bunch of scraping later, and the plastics are done with the first layer. I will say some spots, like right here, absolutely came off pretty awesome. It's pretty much right back down to the original factory color. Some of the other spots, it's going to take a few more coats to get all these off. That lovely texture that these have in here, you know, because ATV, whether the surface was prepped well or not, that texture just allowed the paint to adhere really well and bond really well. These black plastics were originally black. Now they're still black, but there are some spots you can see, like that's where a sticker was. You can see there are still some spots up here and over in this area where we need to go back over it again and get the rest of it off. Other fairing came out just as well. Still a whole section up here that really just didn't want to come off, but we'll give it a second coat and see what it does. Front scoop area came off pretty well. There are whatever these red things are, some more red paint, I guess, but for whatever reason, some of these areas seem to stick really well. And then obviously the manufacturer logo, all the original black paint came right out of it. But all in all, we're pretty happy. The citrus strip didn't ruin any of the plastics. Didn't do a phenomenal job stripping all the paint completely off, but looking at these, there's like 3 to 4 layers of paint on here. So considering what it was going up against, I think it did a phenomenal job. Now we're probably gonna go pick up a couple more cans of it to do the rest of these again to finish getting all the rest of this off. For now, we're gonna go ahead and take these outside, get them sprayed off with some normal soap, like auto body wash, car wash stuff, to get all the chemical off of it and neutralize it, just so it doesn't continue to try and eat into the plastics or the metals throughout the night. And then we'll pick it up again tomorrow. All right, so it is the next morning. If you can't tell, it got a little cold here yesterday. It continued to drop over the night, and it's pretty chilly today. The shop itself is actually pretty comfortable, and I don't have the heat on right now, so it's pretty awesome. I think it's something like, don't hate on us North people, but it's like 40s outside right now, so it's pretty cold. So I don't think I'm actually going to get much done on the paint stripping. We're going to go ahead and have to hold off on that until it's more of a comfortable temperature for us Floridians. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. So thanks for sticking through this long. Go ahead and like the video, comment below if you have any feedback, and don't forget to hit that subscribe icon.